This is Creso, and I'm here for part 19 of the Human Journal. This journal, I'm going to talk about shutting down every police station around the world. And different things got my attention, and I question different things. Why certain paradigms I still observe. And, the idea of police, I know what it stands for, what it does, the paradigm, because I, like everybody else around the world, we all created this idea. And, this journal might be uncomfortable for those that's loyal to being a law-abiding citizen. But I want to, in this journal, I want to express how I feel about different things. I inspire myself as well as everybody else. And I did create clips on cops and robbers, but a lot of my journals, it is somewhat of recaps of some other clips that I've created. But with the Human Journal series, whatever's in my heart, I try to tailor into like a journal, and but this does take a lot of courage on my part to express these things in my clips, and actually all of my clips. And but I really do need to talk about this topic about police. A lot of us, we created this idea of police. Okay, it's an idea. All right, let's just forget about the people that work in those functions. It's an idea. Police is just an idea. So what you do is that you break the idea down like any idea that we created. The idea of police is what? Let's just break it down. The idea of police is control. Okay, control, keep enforcing the law. Okay, that we created. Lawmakers, these functions of lawmakers and stuff like that. We created that. And fear. A lot to do with fear. And the idea of humanity hold up to this other idea of death. So you need something to protect you from death or something, right? And these laws that we created to enforce it. Now, also under the same breath, this idea of police is, it's an ego thing, It's an idea of authority. And, it's definitely an ego thing too. I don't care who the individual is, okay, that signed up for this type of job, or profession, let's say, okay, it's an ego thing. It is, okay. What makes me feel better when I see certain things and I question why I see certain paradigms, and I have to meditate that, I feel like these things that I see is because to remind me that my purpose, why I came here, and my purpose to inspire people, okay, to search the power from within, okay, to reconnect with consciousness. And by doing that, okay, when I see humanity shift spiritually, all right? And I was talking, I was talking to my close friend of mine, and I was telling her, I see humanity shift. And, that happening okay, other ideas are also shifted out. I mean, they're going to exist in another dimension. The idea of authority, law enforcement, it's going to exist. But when people decide to evolve, and I see it happen already. Okay, I do envision this right now. Okay, um, yeah, it's just that this particular idea that you need someone to protect you, or fear, or someone to try to control you, those things are going to be done away with. Okay, but I just, it's like when I see certain things, I just have to really go into myself, and it all reverts back to people. Yeah, it all goes back down to people. It does. When we acknowledge, when we start to be afraid, and yeah, certain ideas is going to be, we're going to create different ideas. So yeah, the police, I feel that, the idea of law enforcement is like, it doesn't bring any peace into society. It doesn't. The same goes for the idea of criminal. Okay, it doesn't bring any. These things doesn't bring any no peace. It doesn't. And well, I wanna. It's gonna sound a little similar to my other clip, Cops and Robbers. I just feel like I do feel like I have more insight than the last time I created that clip last year, Cops and Robbers. But I just want to say that everything's possible, because I see a different world, that people not needing these services no more. Like, you don't need police anymore because everybody's spiritually connected. Okay, and law enforcement doesn't do anything. It doesn't. It's just it's kind of like it's going to affirm the same thing over and over. Okay. I mean, I took the responsibility. I created the idea of police. I felt in my heart yesterday that I just don't like this idea of police. It's not really so much the people that work in the function, but it's the idea. But yeah, I take responsibility because I'm consciousness. And I ask myself, why do I create this stuff? Why? Why did I create this stuff? Well, I have the answer for that for myself, personally, and I'll share this with anybody. It's because it's an experience, like anything else in life. And on top of that, is to rediscover who I am within consciousness. But when I decide to be spiritually mature, these things, these ideas, just gonna fall. It's gonna fall off. It's gonna fall off like a leaf off of a tree. It's gonna fall off. That's just it. Because it's a transitional state. Okay. Like it or not, everybody. Okay. Consciousness is all about movement. And even though you decide to stay at a certain level spiritually, to need these particular ideas, you need some sort of law enforcement. But consciousness ultimately is power. And consciousness, like I said, is about movement. So everyone is basically going to shift. Okay, all I'm doing for me and doing this journal clip, I'm just needed to express something, what's in my heart, and to express also is that what I envision. Okay, this is not any wishful thinking or whatever. And if anybody thinks I'm crazy to express this, I don't give a damn. So, but I know a lot of people. I don't hear a lot of people talking about eliminating, or let's just say shifting the idea of law enforcement out. I don't hear a lot of people say that. I hear people talk about doing something with the police officers when they're not able to control their own ego. What are we going to do with these type of? What are we going to do with those officers? But it's not really about So it's not about the officers that decide to, allow their own ego to take them into a spin. It's not about the officers. Okay, we get protests. You all could protest about this police brutality. You could do that all day. It doesn't do anything. You could get Jesse Jackson to speak or Al Sharpton to speak. It doesn't do nothing really. It's just that you got to go to the root of all this. You got to go to the root. The root is you. That's it. Once you understand who you are, everyone, okay, once you understand that you are fearless, ultimately, okay, I mean, you could be afraid, but I got to say this, like I said, consciousness is about movement also. Consciousness could be still. As far as, I want to say this very carefully, as far as like a transitional state, you could be afraid all you want, but eventually things will move, okay? I'm only speaking, see, when I say what I envision, I'm talking about that's happening now. And you could argue with me and say, oh, what do you mean, Crystal? I don't see this happening now. Well, I'm telling you in spirit it's happening now, and I'm going by the feeling state. But it's something, but I still observe certain things, and I have to ask myself the question, why I still see certain things? And you know what, everybody, sometimes, I don't have the answers. I don't have all the answers. And that's okay. I'm not going to sweat it. I know who I am. Things will reveal to me. Things will come to me and reveal itself. That's just how I feel about it. I can't sweat the idea that I don't have the answers for everything. No, I'm not. Sometimes I do. But I have to go into myself and say, no, I'm not. Just can't give up. If I believe in something that a lot of people feel like it's impossible, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to inspire everyone to believe in something that in your head, it's impossible. Because life, everything is possible. So to go back with the police, so yeah, it's not about the certain people that work in those professions. No, you got to go to the root. And once people decide to, once people mature spiritually, there's not going to be a need for police. I was telling my friend of mine, I told her this yesterday, that I said right now, I see a lot of people around the world getting together and closing down every single police station around the world. That's right. Closing every single police station around the world, and there's nothing the police could do about it. Same for the military. Because, you see, everyone understands who they are, that they're power. Now, I want to bring some clarity in this. Somebody that's observant or that decides to be a law-abiding citizen might pose me as a threat, whatever. Oh my gosh, this person's dangerous. Oh my God, how can you say something like that? Because I can. Because I can see outside of all the structures that we put together. So when I say that I see society, okay, shifting the idea of police out, it's done. When I say people around the world removing or shifting the idea of police out of their society, doesn't mean anything to do with violence, hurting the people in these professions. Is not going to do anything. Okay? You see, the people in the uniform, you see, everyone, they're you, okay, and you are them. Okay? So going about hurting a police officer is not going to do anything. You got to do something different. Okay? You have to shift the idea itself out of our society. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, what we're going to do with the people that do evil things, right? Well, like I was telling you throughout all of my journal clips so far. People mature spiritually, you recondition your mind, you're going to feel different about yourself. You're going to let go of ideas that's not going to serve you. So that right there takes care of the idea of a criminal or someone doing something evil. You know what I mean? So, but the police, yeah, I look at this over and over, and law and order fails. A lot of you don't like to hear it. Maybe a lot of you are in denial. But like it or not, everyone, law and order fails time after time. Whenever you have somebody, okay, that's observing this idea. Whenever you have somebody that have authority over somebody else, okay, you're not gonna get anything good out of it. Okay, it's like you tell people, like you try to control people, okay, and you can't really control people. And I feel like, because when I just say, I know, whoever's listening to my clip, you're gonna be frightened. Like, what do you mean you can't control people? Yes, you can't control people. You can't. I mean, you want to know why people break the law, okay? Well, people are freedom. Everybody's freedom, okay? You can't control people. It's like you try to control consciousness, okay? Consciousness, it's like you can't put authority. Consciousness cannot have authority over itself, okay? All right, that's the thing, everyone. Consciousness is like the idea of oneness having authority over oneness. If you're at a point spiritually where I'm at, okay, by choice now, if you are able to see past all the structures like myself, and that you able to understand what I'm saying, you will see that this doesn't make no sense. Like, for example, how can consciousness have authority over consciousness? Because like I always say, everybody is consciousness. Everybody. You could be the baddest person around. I mean, damn it. Even Hitler, he's consciousness. The most baddest person. You could label the terrorist group, whatever, ISIS, whatever the groups that you want to call it. Yeah, those people are consciousness too. Everyone. Everybody. So what I'm trying to say is that even though we like to have certain order in our society, okay, but you realize that these ideas that we put together, even though we did, and even though these ideas is all about experience now, the idea doesn't really do anything good. Like what I'm trying to say, it doesn't bring any peace, joy, bliss. Okay, when you try to place authority over somebody, okay, and then when you have ideas, stories that you're holding yourself, and to be a victim and to do all these things, you're not bringing bliss in your life. You're not. You're bringing the opposite. Well, everything is by experience. I just love the idea of everybody collectively getting together and closing every single police station around the world. Okay? You see, I decide to say this because I'm fearless to say it. Okay? I'm not afraid. I don't need anybody to protect me. I know who I am. Okay? I'm not afraid. And that's the thing with humanity about the idea of death. The combinations of things why we created this idea of police. So yeah. Death, you're not letting go of old stories. You're not loving yourself, okay? You're not acknowledging that you are worthy and that you're a consciousness, okay? And yeah, these are the recipe, and you're afraid. So this is the recipe, what the ingredients to create police. So yeah, every time you have the idea of trying to police somebody, yeah, you're gonna have people to rebel. Again, like I said in my other clip, and I'm gonna say this, and I say this here and there. You can't control people. You could try. You might think that you're succeeding, but you can never control people. You can have an army of police or a SWAT team. You can't control people. You can't. You're going to fail. When you try to control someone else, you're going to fail. Maybe in your head, you're thinking that you're succeeding. Okay? Now again, for those that's observing being a law-abiding citizen, you're going to think that, like, you're going to, like, not understand why I'm saying this. I already covered the idea of the criminal, someone doing something, let's say something bad to somebody else. I covered a lot of that throughout all of my journal clips. It's about everyone reconditioning their mind. People are able, all of you are equipped to do this because you're consciousness. So again, I want to say this again. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. That, you know, the idea, the fact that you can, okay, that you can recondition your mind, that takes care of this whole thing with the criminal or doing something bad to somebody or whatever, okay? All right, so that's why in this clip, this journal, I want to emphasize a little bit more on the police end, okay? And, it's just that, and I feel like I do know my feeling state. I do know, you all know this. You all know that having the idea of law and order is not going to bring a peaceful world. When you try to tie down or try to have a lockdown and all that stuff, what you're doing is that you keeping the same paradigm running. You are. I mean, I acknowledge it too for myself. Yeah. You know, I'm keeping this whole thing, this whole system running. Criminal, police, that, you know. You ever try, you know, I want to say this, all right? And this is the point to what I'm trying to say, that you can't control people, or why people still break the law, whatever. You know, you ever heard of something about, let's say, if you tell, let's say, I don't know, let's just say you tell a kid that's 5 years old, for example. It's an example, okay? Don't touch that button. Don't touch that button, right? And you really mean it. You put a firm voice tone. Don't touch that button. And then before you know it, that kid is going to touch it. You put so much emphasis about, don't do that, do not do it. People, you know, and I know I just said a kid as an example, but just follow me what I'm saying. People are going to do it. You understand? A kid is going to press that button. Even though you say, don't do that, still going to do it. So what I'm trying to say is, everyone, is that, and you're going to probably say, well, not every kid does that. Well, yeah, you're right, not every kid. But if you look at the psychologically, on a psychological level, on that alone, when you try to put it out there more, like, don't do this, okay, you're going to, basically, you're going to have the opposite. But when you go about it like this, like, you know, like you kind of give it a choice. You tell someone, look, you have a choice. You can either do that or do this. Okay? Like, don't put like I feel like if you put like a big gigantic rule, don't do it, you're going to have a good number of people go against the rule. It's just that, I observed this within, you know, the behavior within humanity for a while. It's like, and a long time ago, I said to myself, why people still do these things? If they're being told not to do it, why do they still do it? And I've watched different clips and I've heard different stories, and especially on a psychological level, and even spiritually, you know, we try to control. And it's like, every time you try to control somebody, it fails all the time. You always have somebody to rebel against you. It's just that that's how it is. But because we're all consciousness, it's like consciousness doesn't have authority over itself. I know this might be different for a lot of you that's listening to what I'm saying on that level. But yeah, it just doesn't work. So I do see a lot of people right now closing down every police station. All those police officers, they just retired. They're not doing that no more. Everyone is mature spiritually. And that's just something I just need to express in this journal. Some things that I see yesterday and through time here and there, I'm like questioning, like, man, why I'm still observing, seeing certain things. I just feel, I don't know, I'm just thinking loosely. Feel like it's just there to remind me why I chose to come to Earth. Something maybe I need to do for myself. Maybe I just need to sharpen my power within me, you know. Just not give up hope. Just don't give up, you know. And sometimes I have to remind myself not to get caught up what I see with my two eyes. Yeah. I don't know if I'm sorry. What I was saying earlier about a lot of people, a good number of people would. I don't recall hearing anybody talk about closing down every police station. Again, they'll talk about doing something with a particular officers and stuff like that, right? But yeah, people will still want to keep the idea of police around because to keep them safe, and they figured that there's always going to be bad people, you know. But things do work. It's like the idea of police and criminal is like wheels. What do you call it? Like those wheels, those gears. You know, those wheels go together. Like one wheel circle around and the other wheel circle around. I'm sorry. I guess they call them gear wheels or whatever. It's like they go hand in hand. But I know in this journal club, I just want to just talk about the feeling, what I envision, the feeling closing every police station down. I just see people mature spiritually and that have mutual respect for one another. You know, that's one I wanted to express that. You know, I'm not going to support people to go about and hurting these people that work in these professions. I'm not. You know, in my mind, you know, sometimes my head was like, I just like to take, it's like I create these paradigms and I like to take the power away from these paradigms, right? So the people that work in these particular functions is like, they realize like, oh wow, you know, I thought I have authority over somebody, but you don't have authority over anybody. And I talked to my friend about this yesterday and I love the feeling of that. You don't have authority over anybody. You don't. Your badge and your gun don't mean absolutely nothing. So I just wanted to express this and inspire everybody because this is what I see. You can sit there, you can look around, you could disagree, you could call me crazy. I don't give a damn. I just got to be straightforward. I feel like I just like to be straightforward. And, you know, but I'm not, you know, listen to my words carefully, everybody. I'm not going to villainize people that work in these functions. No, I'm not. Just want to talk about the idea. You know, I recognize these ideas in military and government and religion. All these things that suggest limitations and fear and control. I know very well that these things are just part of a transitional state for humanity, and that I do envision people evolve spiritually. Okay, and like I said, if you believe what I'm saying, great. If you don't, fine with me. But yeah, I just wanted to express that. I needed to let this off my chest about this because, you know, all the police cars, uh, strip the logos out, the sirens, whatever, and maybe sell the cars. Maybe people like to have a brand new car, or let's not just a brand new car, but a pre-owned car added up into the dealer's lot. Close down the police stations and make it into something else. Maybe I could actually, let me just use my imagination. Just flex my muscles, my spiritual muscle within. I see myself, along with everyone else, turning the police station into a DMT station. I mean, you can have your DMT experience anywhere you want, but something different. It doesn't have to be a DMT station, but something different. I want to repurpose something. See, I like to repurpose something because I'm a creator like you. If we're able to create something like the idea of police, then you are more than capable to create something the opposite. Yeah, I like to turn a police station into something different. Closing down every prison institution, closing that down. But yeah, people, every single one of you are just mature. You feel loved because everybody is loved. Everybody's bliss. Everyone is attaching themselves to, limitless. You could feel limited if you want to, but I want to say this: what life really is, and what consciousness within you really is limitless. There's no limits. There's none. It's like my friend of mine. She said that, she added this, that consciousness is limitless. That it could put the idea of limited too if it wants to. But that's the thing. That's what we do. We create limits. But the actual truth is that there is no limit. So yeah, I just want to touch on this because it's like, I guess maybe I feel like I say stuff that maybe a lot of people, maybe they don't want to say. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody that expressed stuff. I've heard actually somebody on YouTube recently express stuff very similar to me. And, a very similar style to me, But I have my own unique style to things. How I express myself, how I break things down to everyone and all that. And I know sometimes some of the stuff you would have to really listen to what I have to say maybe a few times to actually click, maybe, who knows. But all I can say is that I just have my own style of things, and that's me. I'm very unique in my own way. Same goes for everybody. We may be similar in some ways, okay, and that's cool. But I have my own unique style to things, and that's why I appreciate, And yeah, I'm going to express things. What I'm sharing, like for example, what I share in this journal about closing down every police station. Yeah, I'm going to share these things. It's like, it's like on my Human Journal Part 15. It's just that I just can't give a damn what anybody thinks of me. I just got to do what I have to do. I got to follow my heart. So if I'm going to go against the norm, okay, again, keep in mind, I created this stuff too along with everybody else. Regardless of my background, regardless that I reincarnated from another humanoid race, everything's connected in this universe and beyond. There's a connection. Yeah, so if I'm going to suggest something that's outside the norm, yeah, I'm going to express it. I'm going to express it. because I know everything's possible. I just don't stay stuck with the fundamental or the conventional ideas and stuff. I don't stay stuck with that stuff. I don't. I mean, everybody's capable. You know, you're all capable of doing that. So, just thinking, what else do I have to share in this topic so far? I think I pretty much shared a lot. Yeah, this is I know it's a little similar to my cops and robbers clip. I just like to see just need to express this, you know, need to let it out. And if you're able to understand and vibe with me what I'm saying on this, especially on this journal clip, that's great. That's great. You know, it's just that you're just literally right there to look outside the box, this little box that we created. Okay? Yeah. You know, I'm no different than you. I'm not better than you, nor do I'm lower than you. You know? So, yeah, if you're able to connect what I'm saying, right? Have an open mind and let go of stuff that's not going to serve you, like fear and other belief systems that we hold up. You let go of that and you able to see past different things, that's wonderful. You know, that's wonderful. Okay, everyone. That's it for this one. I will be back for part 20 of the Human Journal. Take care.